Many thanks, Nifemi. Well, the chairman of the National Tax Policy Implementation Committee, Mr. Joseph Tegbe, has highlighted the benefits of Nigeria's Tax Reforms Act 2025, describing them as a major turning point in the country's quest for robust and sustainable economy. In a statement on Wednesday, Mr. Tegbe said the new tax law represents a comprehensive overhaul of Nigeria's fiscal architecture, are designed to create a modern, efficient, and transparent tax system that supports economic growth, development, and shared prosperity. Mr. Tegbe, who is also the Director General of the Nigerian-China Strategic Partnership, explained that the reforms are built around 4 key pillars: reconnecting the economy to the state, standardizing and modernizing fiscal administration, promoting predictability, and rebalancing the fiscal-social contract. Let's stay with this development around the tax law and its implementation. My guest is Mr. Peter Adebayo. He is a chartered accountant, lead consultant, CEO of 2612 Consulting Services. Now, good evening to you, Mr. Adebayo, and thank you so much for joining the news.
Good evening, Tolu, and good evening to viewers.
All right, let's start with the misinformation and all that we've seen with regards to this tax law. Government has said they will go ahead with implementation. Take us through what you've been hearing and what you're learning. What do you think Nigerians need to know more about this tax law?
Thank you once again, Tolu. You have said it all. Over the past few days now, in fact, from last year, quite a number of information which is classified or defined as misinformation has been all over the space. People relying on social media. A lot of people have been misinformed. But I think it is very important that we continue with the advocacy, with the enlightenment that will make Nigerians all over the world to understand the objectives behind these 4 tax laws that have been signed by the government of Nigeria. What are those objectives for the purpose of educating people more? These laws are aimed at strengthening government revenue in a sustainable manner. Nigeria as a nation, we can no longer rely mainly on oil revenue. We can no longer rely on excessive borrowing. The reforms aim to build a very strong, predictable, and non-oil revenue base to fund our national development. The whole idea is sustainable revenue. One of the objectives is more equitable. The new laws, they seek to reduce over-taxation of a small group of compliant taxpayers. They ensure those with higher income and capacity contribute fairly to the revenue generation of Nigeria. Protection of low-income earners through reliefs. A number of reliefs have been introduced by these tax laws. Thresholds have been defined. Exemptions have been put in there with the idea of fair sharing of the tax burden. Part of the objective is to widen the tax net, not necessarily to raise tax rate like people have been peddling all over the place. A major objective is bringing more economic activities into the tax system, especially high-value informal sector activities where there are potentials for economic growth, digital and emerging business models. Previously undertaxed income streams, like everybody knows, with an idea of more taxpayers being brought to the net, not just heavier pressure on the same people. The objective is also to improve efficiency and transparency in tax administration. The reforms are going to be emphasizing clearer rules. They will be emphasizing reduced discretion, stronger institutions, better reporting, and accountability. All right? This is going to reduce confusion that has been thrown into the space. It's going to eliminate or reduce corruption drastically. Compliance costs will be reduced with the idea of simplifying and enhancing transparent taxation system. It's also going to support growth in economy and investment. A stable and well-structured tax system will always improve investor confidence. We need the confidence of investors. It will reduce policy uncertainty. It will help businesses to plan long-term with an idea that good tax laws will attract investment and also create jobs for the teeming population that are unemployed. Inherent benefits are there, of course, of these tax laws.
Yeah.
There will be reduction in pressure on borrowing and debt. You are aware. We all know that we have been, excessively borrowing. So that will reduce. With improved tax revenue, government will borrow less. Debt servicing pressure will also reduce. Of course, more money will be available for capital development and infrastructure.
All right.
All right.
In 1 minute, as we wrap this up, Mr. Adebayo, if you can hear, just in 1 minute as we wrap this up, implementation. What do you make of implementation? Let's wrap up on that note.
Quite frankly, this implementation, I want to assure Nigerians, is not going to create problems for Nigerians. I encourage Nigerians not to panic, not to rely as the implementation is going on. They should not rely on social media soundbites. They should seek proper guidance. They should allow implementation guidelines to clarify where there are gray areas. Tax reform and governance reform, they must work together. No country develops sustainably without a very strong domestic revenue system. Of course, the new tax laws are about fairness, about sustainability, about growth, not about taxing people into poverty. They are designed to strengthen the economy, to protect vulnerable citizens, and give Nigeria the revenue base that we desire to develop. So tax reform is never painless, but without it, the cost of doing nothing will always be far greater. So I want to say, as I close, to you, that tax reform is not about today's convenience alone. It is about tomorrow's stability. If done right, it has potentials, capability to create more jobs, to fund infrastructure, and build a stronger Nigeria that all of us can be proud of.
Mr. Peter Adebayo, I must thank you so much for joining us on the news at 10. Really great analysis, I must say. He's the chartered accountant and our lead consultant, 2612 Consultancy and Professional Services. Do have a great night rest.
Thank you very much, Tolu.
All right, well, that's business at 10. Next is sports news with me and Akira.